Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
Like I said, Halloween controversies over the weekend. Yeah, for everyone. There was just something for everyone to be mad about in this situation. Here we go. You want to be mad about people wearing Charlie Kirk costumes? Great. You can be. You want to be mad about people wearing blackface? Well, we've got some of that for you as well. There were some who were wearing ICE outfits that got people very upset too. So there's that. George Floyd costumes. And then there's a group of teachers in Arizona who were allegedly wearing shirts that say problem solved with blood all over one side of them that looked like Charlie Kirk bleeding out on that side. They suggest that they've worn these costumes before. And look, here's my response to that. You're a group of teachers that wore a bloody T-shirt costume that said problem solved to school last year. Can someone explain the blood part to me? Like the problem solved, like a math joke or something, I guess? I don't know.
Number 6.
Auburn fired head coach Hugh Freeze, giving him a $15.4 million buyout after a 10-3 home loss to Kentucky. I was at that game, and it was depressing to watch. I had a great time at the game, don't get me wrong. The Auburn experience is still very fun, but here he is. Auburn's 4-5, and he ended with a 15-19 overall record, including 6-16 in the SEC. I mean, just not great stuff here from Hugh Freeze, and out he goes with $15.4 million. The last 3 Auburn coaches, I think about $52 million in buyouts. Who's next? If it's not Lane Kiffin, I'll say the same thing I say about Florida. If it's not Lane Kiffin, you lose. Okay, that's the biggest name out there right now.
Number 5.
Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall joined 24 different states in filing an amicus brief supporting President Donald Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for children of illegal immigrants. Obviously, and Marshall argues this correctly, it was never meant to be a pathway for entire families to come into this country and get a foothold. That's not what it was supposed to be. Marshall says this: the Constitution is not a loophole for illegal immigration. The framers of the 14th, this is a continuation of a quote, the framers of the 14th Amendment did not mean for citizenship to be granted by mere accident of birth. Citizenship belongs to those who share allegiance to our nation, reserved for the children of American citizens and lawfully permanent residents, not those present unlawfully or temporarily. President Trump's order rightly restores the true intent of the Citizenship Clause, and we urge the Supreme Court to affirm that principle. So 22 states, all of them red, join as well, and I think it's Tennessee, Iowa. It's actually 24 total.
Number 4.
All right, we sit here and pretend that a bunch of individuals are being picked up merely for the act of being at a protest, suggesting that they're picking them up for being illegal, but they're actually legal. That's the framing the media gives you. What's actually happening is far more obvious. I told you the story. Why are they getting picked up? Well, because they're interfering in arrest. That's why they're being picked up. They're not being arrested and detained for being illegal, but they're legal. They're being arrested because they're interfering with law enforcement. In Alabama, there's a local attorney warning people against partnering with ICE under the 287G agreements, and I think most people who are entering into those are going to ignore that advice because it's just stupid and bad advice. But there are people suggesting, don't do it, don't partner with him, you're opening yourselves up for lawsuits and things like that. Get out of here.
Number 3.
President Donald Trump endorsed a group of Alabama Republicans who are United States representatives. And I got to tell you, it's not much of a surprise. He endorsed Robert Adderholt of Haleyville, Dill Strong of Huntsville, and Gary Palmer of Hoover, as well as Mike Rogers of Sachs. And a lot of people suggest that Mike Rogers might not be running for re-election, but he clearly is. So he's been endorsed as well. And there's, again, not much of a surprise here that these individuals got that endorsement. The only one that didn't get the endorsement was U.S. Representative Barry Moore, who is running for United States Senate. So that endorsement did not come in this batch. And I've talked to lots of people that say Trump is just going to stay out of that race. But we all know that is, a statement that we don't know for sure. We've seen how he's got in and out of races in the past.
Number 2.
A Rhode Island federal judge ruled that SNAP must use $6 billion in USDA, contingency funds in order to continue funding SNAP. The White House says, okay, tell us exactly how we're supposed to do this. If you want us to do this, lay it out completely. Trump said, I do not want Americans to go hungry just because the radical Democrats refuse to do the right thing, reopen the government. If we are given the appropriate legal direction by the court, it will be my honor to provide the funding. So they're asking that SNAP funding be restored, at least some of it. The Trump administration has said, okay, give us some guidance on exactly how to do this since you're running the government now, and we'll do that. They're not challenging it appears. Maybe they are, but it does not. I don't see anywhere it's stated that they are doing this. And SNAP funding can restart on Wednesday. Okay, so what are we complaining about? Okay, I drag the government shutdown on another 2 weeks then.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
So they're suggesting now, Mark Wayne Mullen, the United States Senator from Oklahoma, is suggesting that Democrats will end the shutdown following the elections on Tuesday. Democrats apparently want to try to juice their base by telling them that they're going to have to vote for Democrats or their health care costs are going to go up. Because they're going to say that you're killing us with these Obamacare subsidies that we're supposed to phase out, which never did. Well, actually they did. That's part of they're going to. And they think they can use that to juice turnout. So we'll see if that's able to work for them and how quickly they open the government after that. Trump wants to use the nuclear option. Republicans basically have said, nah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And there's a lot of talk about how Republicans are being blamed for this, but if you believe that, ask Democrats why they are constantly trying to figure out new ways to cave on this and why they're so wobbly on this issue. If Republicans agree to a deal where subsidies are involved, then they will lose the shutdown. If Democrats reopen the government with a clean CR, they will lose the shutdown. That's as simple as it's going to be framed. And both sides know that. So we're now in a game of chicken. The nuclear option has failed. They say, no, we're not doing the nuclear option. We're not going to do that. And it's just not going to work. Donald Trump is calling Democrats lunatics. So he doesn't really seem to be in the negotiating mood. And I think that this is a pretty fair way to look at this. Now, I would like to merge these issues together. On the issue of SNAP benefits and how they're actually spending these money on illegal immigrants, Speaker Johnson laid this out pretty clearly when he said, look, the USDA the Department of Agriculture asked states to put forth information about who's receiving these benefits. Republican states turned over that information. Democrat states sued so they wouldn't have to, because they're trying to figure out how many illegals are on this. And Democrats don't want you to know. So that's another part of this, as part of this government shutdown as well. Keep it locked right here. We got a lot more coming up here on the Dale Jackson Show. We'll be joined by Jay Town here in a little bit and Congressman Dale Strong in the next hour. Keep it locked here. I'm Dale Jackson. We'll be right back.
Get WBNN's Dale Jackson's 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.